Hi, my name is Tina Berguglio, and I think that this is the absolute most harrowing thing that I've had to do in years. How do I record myself for 5 minutes? I mean, I can think of so many less painful things like dancing with an alligator or anything than doing this. Just for the anxiety alone, having to sit here and do this. So then that got me thinking, right? Like, are there stars that have to deal with this type of stage fright when they do like interviews, when they're touring for a movie? Like, so stressful, right? And I started thinking about Robert Patterson. He's infamous for, in 2011, talking with Matt Lauder, when he was promoting Water for Elephants with Reese Witherspoon. He made up a story about a clown dying when he went to see a circus for the first time. When this came to light, his response was, I didn't really have anything interesting to say. I was just nervous. Nervous. So yes. How does he do it? How does he get over that? Right? So as I'm deep diving for this assignment, there are a couple of things that I learned. First and foremost, he is known for his take on method acting. And he says that the only reason that you would method act is if you are playing the part of an asshole. That's why you would stay in that role. And that was funny if you're in the industry, I guess. I thought it was cute. He mainly says that how he prepares for roles and how he looks at roles is to hide in them. That before action on the first take of every movie that he's doing, he approaches the set in fear. And he's scared and he's nervous and he's in his own mind, like, I don't know how to act. How am I going to do this? How am I going to pull this off? And yet when they say action, he's like, it just happens and you feel it, and then I can go through it. In one interview, it was asked, well, how do you like to prepare for the role? How do you memorize your lines? And Robert Patterson's explanation was, I like a dry read. So if he is bouncing his lines off of someone, he wants that person to read it with absolutely no emotion, as true to just the words as possible. Why? So he can feel the words when he goes into the scene for the first time with the actor, or when it's in the process of being filmed. He can feed off of that actor, and that's what he craves from his scene counterparts, is feeding off of each other, the emotions, the lines, the passion of that particular moment, of that time. Which is why, circling back, he prefers no emotion when he's practicing and reading his lines. That's what he asks of the fellow actors in set, to save it, for lack of a better way to explain it, for when the scene happens. Also, what he values in his craft, like I referenced earlier, is his ability to hide and disappear into roles and into scenes. This is really evident when he was speaking of acting in the lighthouse, and how sometimes before yelling action, he would make himself vomit so he could have this fresh experience on his mind to portray the role, which I thought was pretty interesting. When I think of all these things and I look back at his performances and I think of like Good Time, how did he do that? And now when I look and I realize that when he was filming it, he ate tuna packets before action, so he looked greasy and he felt greasy, and that was that thing that cleaned the slate, and it just made me respect him even more, that he embodies this craft. And he may not, believe in method acting, and he may not have studied classically, but he values himself and the ability to disappear, and I appreciate that.